Hey, what's up, everyone? And welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to talk about something that I know a lot of us are dealing with, especially this time of the year. And those are the moments where we feel like life is trying to knock us down. Like, you feel me? Like, okay, let up. Stop trying to beat up on me. Okay. I've had it. All right. I didn't sign up to be the strongest soldier. Okay. Get me off this roster. I know you know what I'm talking about. And so today, if recently or lately you've been feeling like everything just feels extra hard and you're stressed, overwhelmed, whatever, or you just feel stuck, this episode is going to be for you because when we feel as if life is trying to knock us down, we don't necessarily want to stay in that. So today I want to talk about how to actually cope with that and like what to do about it because we ain't trying to stay in this. Like we don't want to feel like this. We want to feel better. And so first things first, the best way to go about this is to focus on what you can control. And I know you've heard this over and over before, but I just stick with me for a second here because it's important to understand what is within your control, what you have some control or influence over, and the things that you have absolutely no control over. And you have to stop and really reflect for a second to think about like the stuff that's causing you overwhelm and causing you stress in your life. Where are they coming from? Because if they're coming from primarily things that are outside of your control, I need you to take a step back and just like reel it in because that's not going to help. That's not going to help. But what will help is to start to shift back by focusing on what it is that you can control. So, namely, I have three areas of like full control that I love focusing on, and that is like your actions, like what you do. The second aspect is your mindset or your attitude about things. Those also is within your full control. Lastly, is your effort or intention. Now, those are very simple aspects of within your control. So I'm gonna hit you again with it. First is your actions or the choices and the decisions that you make. What you do today, right now, in this moment, tomorrow, the day after, a week, the month, whatever, those are all yours. Okay. Second is your mindset or your attitude about things, your perspective. These are like how you interpret the things that are happening around you or the stories that you're telling yourself about your situations and circumstances, good or bad, whatever. And lastly, it's your effort. Like I said, this is like how much energy and attention you bring to whatever it is that you're doing. Those are the top three. Know that that is always within your reach no matter what. And here's the thing, the reason why I don't want you to hyper focus or get too hung up on the things that you have no control over, like people's opinion, the freaking economy, traffic, your boss's mood, or whatever, like all of that stuff, when you get hung up on those things, you will get stuck in this negative zone. And this is where it starts to affect your progress and not just within the health and fitness space, but just in everything else too, because it starts to sneakily affect multiple aspects of your life, if not all aspects of your life. Okay. Because when you ain't right, nothing around you, nothing in your life is going to feel right. It's going to make life, in other words, it's going to make life feel a lot more challenging than it really needs to be. But the good news is, though, when you do shift your attention on what you can control, something amazing starts to happen because you start to feel a lot better. Like you feel more capable and, like, feel calmer and more at peace and be like, you know what? Like all of a sudden, you're slaying the day instead of being slayed by it. And just a reminder, it's not that you need to ignore the things that you have no control over. Those are totally okay to get frustrated by the things, Like there's so many things and I'm just like, oh my freaking God, frustrated, annoyed, just would wish that I had control over it so that it would just help me feel better. But that is not reality. And so instead of like letting myself wallow in pity and be overwhelmed and allow things to stress me that I have no full control over, I'm just going to shift that focus into inward and stop casting it outward. I'm going to start shifting into what it is that I can focus on, what it is that I can control. And I coach a lot of my clients through this because majority of the stressors in their lives are coming from things that they have no control over. They're trying to influence things that have no control over. And it's like, it leaves them feeling like out of luck. But at the end of the day, like my job is to help them move forward towards creating progress, creating momentum, protecting momentum, creating consistency. So for me, it's about eliminating all the obstacles that stand in their way. And at the moment, in this particular circumstance, in this situation that we're talking about, being hyper focused on the wrong things is the obstacle. And what is the way forward? Shifting our focus to what we can control, because that is the way forward. Again, you're probably like rolling your eyes because you're like, shit, man. Yeah, I know. I need to focus on what I can control. But if everything could just get in line, like, I know that's not how life works though. So that is a main thing that I want you to just lock in and remind yourself of, because it's such an empowering lesson and skill to have, because there's so many things that will try to knock you down, and it's not just even one thing or the other, it's the way that they compound, and all of a sudden it's like the feather that broke the camel's back. And so with that in mind, you would just want to make sure that it's like you always develop the skill of being able to bring it back and go inward and just focus on what it is that you can control. Okay. And learn to freaking let go of the things that you cannot. Because when you realize that hyper focusing and getting hung up on the things that you can't control is causing you to perpetually get stuck in a place of overwhelm, stress, and just full on stuck, you also need to make sure that you take accountability for the fact that that's where you're putting all your attention and energy inward. Like, you need to take accountability. That is called radical responsibility for the choices that you're making. When you know there's a better alternative and you're choosing to opt out of that one, you have to take radical responsibility for the fact that that was a choice that you made. Okay. Now, you may have not wanted to hear that, but that's also part of why we're tuning into this podcast today. Okay? Because listen, I told you guys from the get go, I am not going to sit here and just like sugarcoat everything for you. A lot of times, and this is me included, we get in the way of our own freaking like success and our own freaking peace and our own freaking happiness. Acknowledging that is the first step. Having the awareness about those tendencies that we have is the first step. It's part of it. No need to shame yourself about it. No need to reprimand yourself. Nothing. Just understand that that's what's happening. But then, whatever decisions you make around that, just make sure to take radical responsibility for it and take accountability for those decisions. And you can't blame anybody else, because when you had the power and you had the choice to make decisions that will support you and you opt out of those decisions, well, you're a grown adult. Like, that it is what it is. Anyways, so when life is trying to knock you down, how do you cope? First things first, like I mentioned, focus on what you can control. The second piece is hitting the reset button. So let's just talk about this reset button. Because here's what I need you to know. If things are hitting the fan, like if you fall off the wagon completely, if you've had a terrible day and just like it's a storm of a freaking week, okay? Just know that it's okay. Take a breather, because you can always have a fresh start. You can always hit reset. And guess what? That fresh start that you're looking for, it doesn't even have to wait until a couple days later, next month, or the New Year's. It can happen right now. Like, literally, as you're listening to this, you can actually just hit the reset button and determine what resetting looks like for you. Because my whole thing is like, let's say, for example, by Wednesday, you're like, I've like, you know what? It's been a horrible week. Like, things are just been, it's just like one thing led to another. And next thing you know, it's like, I'm here and like, oh my God, I'm so behind, whatever. And instead of hitting the reset like next week, come Monday or whatever, just do it now. Like, what can you do now? And I'll get into this in a little bit here, but just even if your reset needs to be the next day, even if you need, just give yourself 24 hours of a break, and then the next day, you know what, I'm going to get right back into it. Totally fine. Like, do not delay feeling better, because that's what a reset is. It's a way for you to shift how you're feeling and what you're experiencing and move it towards a direction where it's more of your preferred feeling and emotions. And in this case, it's about feeling much better, not overwhelmed, not stressed out, not stuck. So do whatever you need to do in order to get there. And I'm not even going to give you examples of what a reset looks like, because you know good and well what the hell a reset looks like. You've done it over and over again, week by week, month by month. You've done it. You're familiar with it. You know what a reset is. You know what you need. You know what's good for you. You know what's bad for you. The only difference is don't delay it. Do it as soon as you can. And speaking of that, the third piece that I'm going to share with you as far as coping when life is trying to knock you down is a 5-minute action. What the hell does that mean? It just means that, you know what, knowing what's going on, knowing that you're overwhelmed, knowing that you're stressed out and you're feeling stuck. Here's all I want you to do about it. Given everything that you just learned on this episode, think about something and anything something small, something simple, and a 5-minute action that you can take that moves you in the direction that you want to go. It can be the reset that you wanted. Just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking for. Okay. It could be as simple as, like, you know what? I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to carve out 5 minutes to just decompress and de stress. I'm going to carve out 5 minutes to just scream into a pillow and go off. I'm going to carve out 5 minutes to, you know what? Just do that thing I've been putting off. I'm going to carve out 5 minutes to go for a little quick walk outside. 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of tidying up. It can be anything. Just a reminder, a 5-minute action is a small and simple 5-minute thing that you're going to literally do that moves you in the direction of where you want to go. Preferably something that's going to leave you feeling much better. Because, like I said a couple minutes ago, is that we delay feeling better. We forget that it's as we can get there quicker by just getting on the driver's seat of our life and choosing in a way that is aligned and supportive for us and where we want to go and what we want to do. And I know that you're thinking, like, 5 minutes, like, that's not enough. It's not going to count. As opposed to what? Doing nothing about it? If you're watching this, I'm sure you see my face. Like, what? Dead ass. Be serious right now. This notion of, like, 5 minutes don't count. Hey, if you want to do it for longer, amazing. But it's not about the time that you put in. It's about taking a step forward. That's why it needs to be so small and so simple, because you need to make it possible, because you have to understand, when you're in breakdown, when you feel overwhelmed and stressed the hell out, 5 minutes can seem like a long time. If you're listening to this during a time where you feel a lot more regulated, things are okay, 5 minutes sounds like, oh, that cannot, there's no reason that, like, that's, like, I can do more. And yeah, you can, you definitely can. You're more than welcome to do more. But just to get your foot into the door, so to speak, to just create the momentum, especially under breakdown, hey man, let 5 minutes be good enough. Just 5 minutes in the direction that you want to be. Just 5 minutes of an action. Just taking 5 minutes of a supportive action that will leave you feeling much better. That gets to be good enough. That really gets to be good enough, because it's not about that it needs to be only 5 minutes. The whole point is to do something small, simple, to just create that momentum. And again, you just really truly don't need to completely, like, overhaul your entire life. This is just about creating that momentum, because that's how we're going to shift out of what we're currently feeling into the next. That's just about us training ourselves and our brain to be like, you know what? Hey, I'm capable. I got this. All of this could be going down. I could feel stressed out, overwhelmed, but at the end of the day, I'm capable and I can do this. I can get this done. And I'm going to choose to move forward instead of being here and staying stuck. Shit can hit the fan. And guess what? I'm going to be good no matter what. That's just what it's about. It's not being a victim to the circumstances and the situations that you're in. It's about being empowered. Because here's the thing. Oftentimes when you're stressed out, overwhelmed, feeling stuck, we can be riddled with a lot of complaints. And here is the rule that I always teach my clients and I always abide by, is that, like, I'm not allowed to complain about something I'm not willing to change. So if you are complaining and are unhappy with the way current things are currently, that is causing you stress and overwhelm, or when life's trying to knock you down, guess what? What are you willing to do about it? Seriously, what are you willing to do about it? So whether that's getting clear on what's within your control, affirming those things, whether it's giving yourself the reset and not delaying it any longer, because why the hell would you delay feeling better? Why would you delay being able to take a deep breath and feel at ease? You wouldn't. You wouldn't if you knew that there was actually a solution to getting there faster. Because what the hell do I always hear from people? I want results fast. I want results faster. And if I'm telling you this is the way to go about it, the fastest way, then maybe you should listen. JK, JK. But do give it a try. Okay. And then also, it's just like the 5-minute action thing. What's something small and so simple that you can do right now that will help you move in a direction that you actually want to go to? And that's, in this episode, we're just talking about feeling much better, shifting away from feeling overwhelmed, shifting away from feeling like life is trying to whoop our asses. Okay. Look, life is full of ups and downs. Shit's going to hit the fan. And it's not a if, it's when. But that's just how it works. And when it does, remember that you don't have to be at the passenger seat of that, right? You don't even need to be a victim to that, because you actually have more power than you think. You are not SOL or shit out of luck. Focus on what you can control, hit the reset button when you need to, and just think of a 5-minute action and take it. And if you want more strategies on how to cope with life challenges, you know where to find me. Hit me up on IG, slide in my DMs, do your thing. Because I would love to help you develop some of the tools that will help you deal with these situations. And you know what? Even if you're currently like in the middle of it, in the cusp, in the trenches, even freaking better. And if you're not, that's still okay because you can prepare yourself. We can be proactive about it. So, whatever and wherever you are in your current stage, if you do need support with this or this just hits you and it was what you needed, amazing. Let me know, drop it in the comments, slide in my DMs, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.